I'm Teresa Woodard. We have team coverage of deadly storms that hit North Texas late Saturday night. At least 2 people died. Many others were hurt. And we are tracking the threat of more severe weather tonight. Before we go live to the communities that suffered damage, we need to get to Chief Meteorologist Pete Delkus. So what should we know about tonight, Pete?
Well, there's 2 things. Number 1, there's a tornado watch in effect. Again, it does not include the metroplex. That's number 1. And number 2, it's a completely meteorological different setup tonight.
Okay.
It's very different tonight than last night. Right now we have a strong cap in place across Dallas-Fort Worth, and we have 1 thunderstorm that's near Wichita Falls that's moving into Oklahoma. So it's a totally different setup tonight. I want you to take a look at this tornado watch just to kind of reinforce the point. It does not include the metroplex at all. It does include Cook County. It does include Montague County and also Jack County and Young County and areas off to the northwest. So that's the way it looks right now. And once again, all quiet here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area as we look off to the northwest. Oh, one thing I want to point out here, you see these clouds? These are gravity wave clouds. You see that? They're showing up very nicely here. You know what that shows us? We didn't have it yesterday. That shows us a strong caps in place across North Texas. And you can see where it is. We don't have those gravity waves out here. There's not much of a cap, so we have 1 thunderstorm that's near Wichita Falls that's getting ready to move into Oklahoma. There's our 1 thunderstorm. The dry line yesterday was over in this direction, and it was moving toward the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Right now, this dry line is actually backing up to the west. That's our trigger. That's our spark. That spark's not over here like it was yesterday, so it's a completely different setup. So this is the area to watch right now. That's why we have the tornado watch there. We had 3 other thunderstorms try to tower up just in the last hour and a half or so. They weren't able to survive. They just fell apart. This one has survived, and now it's moving off to the north up into Oklahoma. So we'll watch that. There's all of the models except 1. All of the models are dry. 1 has a thunderstorm. There we are right now. There's our strong cap that's in place. Here's the model at 7 o'clock. See how it's up in Oklahoma with that storm? Watch the rest of the evening, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I'm hoping we have a quiet evening. All indications are that we will, but as we head through the rest of the evening, we will watch areas off to the northwest. I'll be back in a few minutes with senior meteorologist Jesse Huila. We'll have the full forecast the next 14 days. I have rain in it this upcoming week. Those details coming up.
All right, Pete, see you again in just a few moments. As we told you, at least 2 North Texans were killed last night. One of those deaths was in Runaway Bay in Wise County, where the National Weather Service confirms an EF2 tornado. The other death near Springtown in Parker County, where an EF1 hit. We have team coverage for you tonight. Cynthia Itzigeti is anchoring that coverage from Runaway Bay. Let's get straight to Cynthia.
Well, tonight, Teresa, Wise County Judge J.D. Clark has issued a local disaster declaration for Wise County and has requested a disaster declaration from Governor Greg Abbott so that the residents here can receive some support to rebuild their homes. Now, behind me is one of the hardest hit areas, Runaway Bay. This is where law enforcement is only letting residents through the entry point because of the heavy damage behind there. One resident led us into his neighborhood to see the destruction. This area is west of Bridgeport off of 380. We saw homes decimated right down to the foundation, Teresa. Big trees were snapped apart. We saw trailers wrapped around light poles. We saw downed power lines and a community of people just trying to wrap their heads around what just happened. Now, Grayson Allen's family lives here in Runaway Bay. He says his parents and brother were home last night when the EF2 touched down. They hid in a bathroom tub and had no idea they were still in danger when they came out to see what had happened. He says they got caught in the middle of the storm.
When everything was over, my brother had to dig my parents out of the debris. It was terrible. So.
Are they okay?
My dad has a fracture in his neck. My mom had a broken back, and my brother, he's doing fine right now. He's not really hurt, so.
And the house loss?
Yeah, everything is gone.
We have seen Encore crews out here all day. I'm told here in Wise County about 700 residents remain without power at this hour. About 655 residents do not have power in Parker County. I want to stay here in Runaway Bay and toss it over to my colleague, Tiffany Liu. Tiffany, you have spoken with residents all day, including the mayor of Runaway Bay.
Yeah, Izzy, we've been here since very early in the morning. I actually ran into the mayor when he was just taking a moment to breathe. He's basically been awake since last night. He not only experienced the storm at his own house here in Runaway Bay, but he also has been out in the community all day just to see what his residents need. I spoke with so many people today who are still in shock by what happened last night.
You could hear the wind, you could hear the sound of a freight train.
In the lakeside city of Runaway Bay,
Huddled up and prayed.
a deadly storm hit late Saturday night.
There's RVs that are flipped over.
One person is dead, 6 more injured.
My prayers go up for the family.
And Wise County officials say 20 families are displaced,
Luckily, we wasn't here. We took off right before it hit.
including Donald and Lisa Self.
And we still have each other, and
These native Texans,
33 years together.
for the first time, experienced a tornado.
Yesterday was very scary. Of course, we always had that, thought of, it happens to everybody else, it doesn't happen to us. Well, it did.
In more ways than one, they are survivors as Lisa battles breast cancer
All this stuff will be replaced.
and now faces a destroyed home.
Thank God we're okay.
The National Weather Service confirms the storm as an EF2 tornado, winds as high as 135 miles per hour.
Largest hail I've ever seen or heard in Runaway Bay ever since I've been here since '85.
Mayor Herman White says roads are blocked for safety.
There's like 64 poles that are down at this moment, electric lines everywhere.
And he mourns for the life lost in his city.
It's terrible. These are just not citizens, they're friends.
The mayor says the people of Runaway Bay are already coming together.
First thing comes to me is taking care of our people first that are survivors.
Cleanup started the moment the sun came up.
Been very impressed with the number of people that have come out here to help us.
And it continues until everyone in town recovers.
I know we're going to gather together and really help everyone out.
And this is a message for the residents of Runaway Bay. It's really important that if you do have damage to your home, that you report that. You have to self-report it to the Texas Division of Emergency Management. Make sure you get that done. It's a form that you can fill out online. We have that on our website, WFAA.com. And in terms of those who are injured, we are still working to get an update on their conditions. Izzy, let's send it back to you.
Our thanks to you, Tiffany Liu, reporting from here in Runaway Bay. And we should note that Parker County also got hit with a devastating storms last night. From the air, you can see homes damaged, trees and power lines torn down. A 69-year-old woman died in a severely damaged mobile home. The community also dealing with widespread power outages. People have been working all day to clean up and assess the damage. Springtown ISD canceled school on Monday as a precaution. And here in Runaway Bay, there is extra help for storm victims, as Tiffany Liu just mentioned. Here is a look at video we captured last night during our coverage of a family being reunited after the storms. We know the Red Cross is helping to find those people who were displaced a new place for them to stay in the time being. And we know that Texans on Mission has deployed to the area, providing other resources like food, materials to move debris and boxes for people to try and gather what was not destroyed in those storms last night. We will have an article online about all of those resources and help available to anyone who needs it. But Teresa, I can tell you the residents out here in Runaway Bay, they have been helping each other all day and they won't stop. We'll send it back to you in studio.
Yeah, Cynthia, it's always so difficult to cover damage like this because you know that long road to recovery that lies ahead, but we also know these communities are not going to have to navigate all of this alone.
Absolutely, Teresa. They love each other here and they're showing it today.
All right. Cynthia, thank you so much. Here in the immediate DFW Metroplex, the damage is going to look a little different. A lot of you lost sleep because of heavy rain, lightning, thunder, and a lot of hail. Man, listen to that hail. This is in Lake Worth. It is the sound no homeowner, no vehicle owner ever wants to hear. And in part of the city of Fort Worth, there was some significant hail damage. The Fort Worth Aviation Museum shared these pictures of damage to their exhibits. They say most of their planes suffered hail damage. Hail also caused insulation to fall on several collections and displays. This museum is located at Meacham Field on the north side of Fort Worth. Now, also in Fort Worth, look at the flooding in the West 7th area. Now, of course, this is nothing new to those of us who have lived in North Texas for quite a while. We have seen this happen in this area many times. But last night, take a look. Cars got stuck and people were wading through waist-deep water. There was also flooding in Dallas as well. Look at what we saw on a TxDOT camera early this morning. High water covering Highway 67, cars having to inch by on the shoulder. This was in the Redbird area in southern Dallas. Now is a good time to download WFAA+. You can check live radar there at any time, and we will have weather updates for you right there on WFAA+ if storms develop this evening. That is our streaming app. It is a free download on your TV.